All right, here we go. This is the second in 3 recordings for your flipped class for Chapter 11. And this is the chapter covering relationship marketing and customer relationship management, or CRM. So find this figure in your book, 11.2, and follow along, and we'll move on. So you have seen these types of figures in class before. We use them quite often in marketing. And it's about measuring customer satisfaction. So to keep that valuable relationship with customers, marketers must continually measure and improve how well they meet customers' needs. And there's 3 steps to that process. First, the marketers need to understand what those needs are. Second, they need to get customer feedback. If people aren't telling them the type of experience they're having, they don't know. And lastly, ongoing measurement. How are we doing? So let's take level 1 in our diagram, understanding customers' needs. This is a central concern of building relationships, and this is where you start. So in order to measure customer satisfaction, you have to know what it is that they need. Customer satisfaction is the extent to which customers are satisfied with their purchase, right? It's pretty simple. Satisfaction can be measured in terms of gaps between what the customers expect and what they perceive they have received. For example, you're going on a honeymoon, you've booked a 4-star hotel or 5-star hotel, and you go and it's beyond your expectations. It's even better. There's a gap there. It's a positive gap. Or you've booked the same hotel, it's a wonderful hotel, and wow, it was dirty and it did not meet your expectations. There's a gap. Lastly, favorable or unfavorable impressions result, often making the difference between loyal customers and customers who are going to go elsewhere to get their service. So this American Customer Service Index is a company that measures customer satisfaction. It uses customer interviews and has put together a multi-equation econometric model. It takes perceived things that are drivers of satisfaction for us, right? Perceived quality, perceived value, and our expectations. And then it also measures the outcomes of satisfaction, customer loyalty, if we stay loyal to a product or service, and complaints. So I thought for fun, let's see, I'll show you what we're talking about here. This is by industry, and this is the American Customer Satisfaction Index. You might want to go here sometime on your own and check it out. I've picked by industry. Since we're studying a brewery in class, I thought that we would go to breweries. So this is your benchmark. So this is how satisfied people are with breweries in general. These are your years going up to 2013, and here's your baseline. I'm not particularly seeing very much variation in numbers. So Budweiser, Anheuser-Busch is your Budweiser, your Bud Light, your Michelob Ultra brands, pretty popular brands. Molson and Coors are 2 brands also included in that market, or that brewery is Keystone Light. SAB Miller is, of course, Miller Lite, and Grolsch, among others. But I'm not really seeing variation here. So people in general are pretty satisfied with what they're getting from their breweries. But let's take a look at an industry where there's a little more variation. Let's look at internet retail. So here's our baseline. Right here, 82. So people who are measured above 82, there's that gap. There's a gap of I'm getting better service. And players that we see that are above the benchmark are eBay, Newegg, and Amazon. And look here, quite a measurement below is Netflix, and then Overstock and others come in, but not quite as low. So I found that interesting. And let's move on to number 2 in our pyramid. Obtaining customer feedback and ensuring customer satisfaction. So that measurement tool I just showed you, how are they getting this information? How are they getting this feedback? It can be received in a reactive way, people reacting to their situation, or it can be proactive where you're reaching out to gather the information. Marketers try to improve customer access. They want to know, we want to know as marketers, how are we doing? So we provide toll-free 1-800 numbers, QR codes, website addresses, things like that, tools like that. Reactive methods for collecting feedback are quite common, as well as logging in complaints. It's one thing if you complain to a manager and they, oh yeah, that's terrible, but if they log it in, there's a system in place to do something about the complaint, because complaints are an excellent opportunity to improve your business. Many firms conduct surveys to measure satisfaction, and we've talked about this in class numerous times about monitoring blogs. Apple should be monitoring all the Apple blogs. If you're into a tech industry, you should be monitoring, because people are going to be very honest on these blogs. So I took, hold on here. Okay, I'm back. My husband and I ride Arctic Cat snow machines, and he just got himself, excuse the technical difficulties there. So he just got himself a new Arctic Cat, and so he's all interested in what are they saying about the new Arctic Cat. And our friend rides one that's a 2013. Well, here's a blog right here where people are going and talking about modifications and tech tips, insurance, all types of things. So there's a forum here, a blog, where Arctic Cat should be paying attention to this. This is what their customers are saying about their product and if they're satisfied with it. Number 3 in our pyramid is ongoing measurement, and this is making sure customer satisfaction is ensured. Any method that makes it easier for customers to complain actually benefits a firm, just as I mentioned in the last slide. Customer complaints are seen as an opportunity to prove commitment to service. If they're not telling you as the organization, you can bet they're telling their friends and their family and everybody else. So you want them to tell you so you can fix it. People often have greater loyalty after resolving a problem if they had never complained at all. So if somebody, you go to your 4-star hotel, you have a problem, and they do what they call service recovery. They do something about it. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear about that. Is there anything we can do? Can we give you a complimentary dinner? Can we give you another free night? If they try to do something about it, that oftentimes gives us a sense of greater loyalty. All right, building buyer and seller relationships. Many customers are seeking a way to simplify their lives, right? And relationships provide a way to do this. We just want things to make it simple. We've got a lot going on. We've got jobs and school and families, and we want playtime. So relationships provide a way to make things simpler. We all have a desire to reduce choices in our life. Customers find comfort when we have familiar brands through ongoing relationships with their companies. Don't you find that to be true? That you just buy brand X because you've always bought it. You know it's a good quality, you know you like it, you know it fits. Or if it's a tool that you know is always done well by you. A key benefit to consumers is the perceived positive value they receive from a long-term relationship. Well, I've always purchased from Nordstrom, and they've always made sure I had a positive experience, and then when I did have a complaint, they addressed it and they understand my needs. So we value companies with which we have relationships. And one of the keys for marketers is to understand why customers end relationships. Are they feeling locked in? I want to be able to have other choices. I'm feeling pressured by this relationship. Or are they just bored in the relationship? Or are there just too many products and services available now? There's just too many choices, I can't figure it out. So these are the things marketers need to think about for consumers. I'm gonna stop here. Take a break.